Nerd alert! Nerd alert! Nerd alert!
Nerd alert!
Nerd alert!
Nerd alert!
Nerd alert!
Nerd alert! All right. You know, I haven't been watching too much, but there's a couple things that have crossed my radar. I've been playing the game Megabonk, but so that's been taking a lot of time. It's shout out to the producer of that game, or the production, the solo person who made that game. He was nominated for Indie Developer of the Year, and he said that he was going to bow out of that award because he has been making games for, like, that's been his profession. So he doesn't feel like an indie developer, so he doesn't want to take that opportunity away from somebody else. So that's all the more reason that I'm glad that I bought Megabonk, because it's a fun little game. But aside from that, the Mighty 9 came out on Amazon Prime. I've heard that it is phenomenal, that it needs to be watched. It's from the makers of Critical Role, so it's a cartoon, same style, and it's about D&D. So
yeah, it was their second campaign. I really want to see that.
Yep,
really want to see that.
Other than that, Sense8, we've been watching that. It's a interesting take on a superhero trope, where the characters kind of have this neural network with each other and have some pretty sweet abilities with that. I've liked Sense8. It's got 2 seasons out. They feel like little movies. They're like 50-minute episodes, something like that. So you just pop one of those on, and it's a good little popcorn show. I like it. It's got some heavy subject matter, but it's interesting how they use the abilities. So, and I'm excited to see more. I've only gotten about 6 episodes in.
Yeah, I watched the first season and really liked it. The time between the first season and the second season was so great that I really feel like in order to watch the second season and the finale movie, I'm going to need to rewatch the first one. And whenever I have to rewatch something, it keeps getting pushed further and further down my plate.
Yeah.
So I will watch it eventually, but I really want to. I got to rewatch that first season, so I haven't yet. But yeah, the latest thing that I watched that was new that I really liked was the new Frankenstein. It was excellent.
I want to watch that.
Yeah, I strongly suggest it. It's a great show. They have a right balance of. It's easy to get lost in great visuals in a show like that, like these sprawling castles, and there's way too much time spent on special effects of landscapes and scenery, etc. They just had such a perfect balance of that. This place felt very period piece with their layouts, and it had enough cool visuals and background to be like, that's awesome. But then they twisted in the visuals of, because I don't want to be spoilery, but there's like some ideas of, like, Frankenstein was the final product. He was there was experimentation that led up to him, and that's kind of cool in the show too. They did it really well.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a good series. It reminded me of a series of books that I read one time, and I suck because I don't remember the name of them, but it was a story about Frankenstein through how he's been living. He becomes he's like eternal. He's been living for a long time, and how he's adopted his own name. He's not the Frankenstein monster. I'm saying he's adopted his own name. He's become an entity. It's very interesting, and this reminded me of that. It had a similar vibe or feel to those series of books, but I can't suggest that enough. It was good.
It's got Oscar Isaac in it.
Yeah, and he does it really well. He does that really well. Like I said, I don't want to be spoilery because you guys haven't seen it yet, but there's he plays that character very well.
We're gonna have to check that out.
The Dr. Frankenstein, because I don't know, Dr. Frankenstein is not a quality human, but yeah, it's a good show. You should definitely see that. And then the other thing I'm watching is wildly outside of the normal scope, but I have this weird. It just has a weird allure to me. Is the 3rd season of Physical 100 is out. It's called Physical Asia. I don't know if you guys know what this is, but basically Korea. It's a Korean show. It's dubbed, but they do a good job with it. They take 100 of their best athletes from every different type of athlete, from CrossFit to look, to anything. I mean, any kind of athlete they have, and they run them through a battery of tests until it comes down to one person, and that person is the physical. They consider them the physical peak. They were able to do all the endurance tests, the physical, like the combat tests. There's all this physical. It's just all that. There's no puzzles. There's no like figuring things out. It's 100% a test of physical capability, and it's really good. I think part of it that makes it good is that it is Korean, and they're all very passionate about what they're into. Nobody's worried about TV time. No one's trying to make a living off of becoming popular on this show. They're they're really in it for this competition. In this last season, or this third season that just came out, Physical Asia, now it's a team-based competition, and you've got Korea, Japan, Indonesia. I think Australia has a team, which is weird because they're not really Asia, but the
Yeah, they're down under.
Philippines. There's all kinds of different teams, and these people come out in their like when they come out, they're kind of in their garb, their cultural garb. They're coming out with their profession, also part of it. Like it's very theatrical, but in a historical and relevant sense. Like this is their life, their culture, and they're really demonstrating it. It's a beautiful glimpse into all these different cultures. Beautiful glimpse into what it means to have an actual physical competition that isn't based on fanfare or propaganda or anything else. It's just people going in there to really compete. So I don't know. I love the physical nature of it. I love the kind of. I mean, like the visceral ones. Like there's one ball, and there's two different goals, and there's a puddle of water, and your goal is to pick up that ball and put it in your goal, and the other guy's goal is to do the same. And it's like they're going at it. It's real combat, real things. There's no striking. They're not punching each other, but it's a competition of who's the badder ass. And I don't know. Part of me gets drawn to that. So that's the other thing that I really watched recently and I really loved. So it's
Very
interesting.
nice.
Yeah.
I that came into my radar recently. You're the second person I've heard talk about this. I think I'm gonna have to check this out.
It's really
It's
interesting.
Physical Asia.
Yep. Yeah, the third season, Physical Asia. Another part that makes it interesting because these people don't speak the same language. Like they're competing against each other, competing next to each other. They don't. Some of them, there's a little bit of English, and a little bit of this, but there's crossover in different, their different languages. But for the most part, they don't speak the same language. So you watch them kind of communicate. Oh, Turkey has a team, which that's another thing that I didn't realize that Turkey is the proper pronunciation of the country of Turkey. I was looking that up recently. That's how they pronounce their country,
Turkey, eh?
and it's Turkey. So now it's widely accepted that that's how you pronounce it. That's kind of how they've always pronounced it from what I'm reading. But anyway, so
Oh.
Turkey has a team, and this is the things that they're trying to communicate to other teams, and they're doing it like with this huge language barrier. I don't know. It's just the whole thing is a huge human nature viewpoint. Like you just get to see this like other cultures and how they're interacting, and it's kind of great. I kind of love the human experiment as well as the physical competition. It's great. So it's a really good show. So that's what I've been wasting my time with when I have the little bit of time that I have. I've been so busy with work and everything else. I haven't even touched a video game because I just don't have the mental fortitude for anything other than damn near vegetative state when I get home from work. I'm like trying to shovel some food and watch some kind of something on the boob tube and then pass out.
I just saw the video game Dead by Daylight's had the 2v8, and I've been playing Dead by Daylight for about 5 years now, and usually I'll get bored of games over the course of time, but this game just keeps going and going and going. It's, in my opinion, it's a lot of fun. And then Seraph here, and we played Sonic Rumbles the other day. And that was a fun little game. Kind of, what was the game you said it was like?
Oh, it's a lot like Fall Guys.
Fall Guys.
What,
That's
2v8 goes away tomorrow morning? That sucks, Joel.
Yep, it sure does. It sure does.
What goes away tomorrow morning?
The 2v8, so Dead by Daylight's normally 4 survivors, 1 killer. Well, the 2v8 is 2 killers, 8 survivors. And you have to get 8 generators, and it's a little bigger of a map, and I actually prefer 2v8. I love it.
I prefer it too. I think the cool thing with 2v8 versus 1v4 is, when it's 1v4, if you have one really bad teammate, like there's only one person gonna make it out, and that's the person who gets the hatch. Like if somebody's really bad, like you have troubles. But
right.
in 2v8, as long as like 5 people on the team are competent, you can have 3 really dumb people. They're still taking up a little of the killer's time. Like
exactly.
You can get like the survivors can get away with a little bit more, and a couple survivors leak out regardless. So I think 2v8 just feels a little bit better, even if I think it's good mode.
I do recommend Sonic Rumbles. That was a fun game. Basically, you start, I think it's like 20 characters or 30 characters.
I think it's 36 characters, and then it drops down by like 12
to the semifinals, and then you go to the finals, and then you get a winner. So you could probably play it in like 8 to 10 minutes. So if you just, I got about 10 minutes to play a game.
Off the world game?
What's that?
Like, is it King of the Mountain? Is that what it is? Like,
kind of.
I would.
There's some levels like that.
Yeah.
It's less like Fall Guys and like knocking people off, and more like point gathering. Like you're trying to gather coins, or not coins. Gosh, rings. My gosh,
man, we did it.
I'm a Mario fan. But you're collecting rings, and you can actually attack, unlike Fall Guys too. Like you can attack the obstacles, like that. So that part's cool.
Sure.
And Marvel Rivals, I gotta play because Gambit and Rogue are in it now.
Gambit and Rogue.
I gotta play.
I knew that was gonna come up. I didn't want to say anything. He was going to be on Gambit. I'm like, well, Wayne's playing this game again.
Even if I don't I'm playing Gambit. That's it.
Why does Wayne play Rival Rivals? To buy new outfits for Gambit?
That's right. Do you play any other character? What? There's other characters?
Oh, shit.
So shows I've been watching. I mean, there's nothing really. Now, Welcome to Deary. That is creepy, and it's good.
Yeah, that's hit my radar too.
Yeah, they're doing it an episode per week, so they're up to the 4th episode. I'm not caught up. I'm about 2 episodes in, but it's good. It's really good. Peacemaker, I heard a lot of flack for season 2, and was it season 2 or 3? Well, whatever the last season of Peacemaker was, it definitely wasn't as good as prior season.
This is the final season. I actually liked this season better than I did the second season.
Did you? Okay. See, it was vice versa for me.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. I don't know. I like all Peacemaker, but it's not something I watch critically. It's something I watch because I just want to have a good time,
Oh, and Peacemaker's great. I love John Cena's great as Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've become a big fan of Amelia Harcourt too. The Jennifer Holland, the actress that plays Harcourt. I'm just becoming a really big fan of her. I really like her character. I like the, I don't know, just something about her whole way of doing things is good. I like her attitude. I like the way she comes off. So
she
was
a bad
big draw
bitch who goes to the bar and beats people up.
Yeah,
she sure does. Or she gets her butt beat too.
Right.
Well,
she was a big draw to me. Just there's something about her character. Her character has like this almost like tragic thing about her. Like she was like built as a weapon and isn't able to be that weapon, and she's kind of not even sure she wants to be that weapon. You know,
right.
It's just there's like a real like tragic component to it, and I think that the actress portrays that beautifully. I think it's a great thing. So that was actually my favorite part of the series was her. Was
It all
watching
depends
her.
which one you get too.
Yeah, demonstrate this like duality. It was good. But
Star Trek: Strange New Worlds over the summer, excellent. I absolutely love that show.
yeah,
That's one I really like. I really like how they do the Gorn. Because
Yeah.
we remember the Gorn from the '60s, and the Gorn now they're just these very very good CGI lizard people.
right.
It's creepy. It's just really creepy.
Creepy.
They're creepy.
Yeah, I really like Strange New Worlds. That's a
Yeah.
great series. That reminded me of another show that I had watched is the Squid Games Challenge.
Yeah.
It's the game show version of it.
Uh-huh.
I love that. I love that. I like.
So you did like the game show version of it.
It's tempting. It's tempting to
Okay.
like go try to do the game show version of that show. I don't know. I just really like it. Oh, something. Here's something I watched that I was 100 people told me to watch it, and I was kind of like, but I watched it and I loved it. Was that K-pop Demon Hunters?
You did watch
that
it.
was
Okay.
way.
That is so good.
Wait,
I
did you
love
see
it.
that?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
What did you think?
All right, K-pop Demon Hunters is way better than any show titled K-pop Demon Hunters has any right to be. Such a good.
It's so good.
The songs are stuck in my head forever.
Oh man,
perpetually.
Golden plays all the time. I absolutely love that song.
I'm sure you've heard it a couple times, Wayne.
Yeah,
a few times. I've never watched the show, but I've heard Golden.
Yeah, I'm sure you know probably a lot of the major plot points at this point, Wayne.
Yeah, it's just good. I have nothing bad to say. I wanted to not like it. I really wanted to not like it.
Dude,
just
but that cat
so
with the flower pot,
yeah,
had me rolling. It was so funny.
Like
I can't look at you do that without laughing. That's so funny.
It's just good. I love it. It's great.
And so I have a Korean friend, and she said that they kind of do a homage to Korean culture too. Like I guess that the bird with the hat and the cat are both like Korean figures, and like that's all above board.
I'm finding that more and more. I'm very enamored with the Korean culture in so many ways. Like the Physical 100 is Korean based, and every person that's competing in that, I just really liked them. I like what they. I don't know. It's just culturally, it's very appealing. So I'm just finding, and I didn't realize that. I guess I was just kind of Korean ignorant. You know what I mean? And the more I learn about the culture, the more I am just kind of enamored by it. It's a great. Yeah. It's really neat.
Yeah, no, and I love hearing them talk about their supreme leader and how much they love him. The Koreans are awesome. No,
people.
We're talking about the South Koreans, not the North Koreans. And I'm sure they're great too, but South Korea is, I mean, it's a pretty big cultural hub. I mean, it's huge. There's a lot of commerce and whatnot going down there, and
it's interesting. I just say, like I said, just so when you're talking about other cultures, it's hard to. Some cultures just fall under your radar for whatever reason. We're living here, and there's other, but I feel like they're getting more media play. There's a lot more Korean media play, so that we're learning more about it. Like I feel like Japan is kind of like always, it's got the whole anime and blah blah blah. It's always been very prominent in nerd culture, and even China was always on second place. So I didn't when we're talking about the Asian side of entertainment and media, but Korea is just, I feel like I should have been paying attention to them a lot longer and a lot more because I love what they're putting out. What they're putting out.
So K-pop,
and like you said with anime, what's that?
I gotta watch K-pop Demon Hunters, huh?
You have to. You'll like it. You'll like it.
Yeah, you will really like the show.
Yeah, it's really good. But yeah. Man, I lost something. I lost it. It just went away.
I saw it go away. It went like,
where'd it go?
Where'd it go?
Yeah, that's I don't know. It's just really good stuff.
X-Men
Yeah,
97
that
too
one
needs
other
to
thing.
come out.
What's that?
True.
Second season of X-Men 97 needs to come out.
It does. So I don't know if you guys like shows like Bob's Burgers and that type of things or anything of those kind of shows, but I they're good for me for a once through. You know what I mean? A lot of people will
Okay.
watch these things 100 times and becomes like watch it, watch it, watch it. That's just not me.
Yeah.
But I'm watching one called Haunted Hotel. It's another animated show. It's very entertaining. This family, it's a mom and her two kids have moved into a hotel, like a family hotel, and it's completely haunted. I mean, 100% haunted. And there's everything from demons to ghosts to poltergeists, you name it, all over. It's just kind of how they deal with it day to day. That has proven to be a very fun show as well. So if you're into like things of like along the lines of like a Bob's Burger or the Great Outdoors or things like that, it's a good one to watch. It's entertaining.
Okay.
It's got a continual storyline, which I like
Haunted
too.
Hotel.
Like there's a progressive storyline.
It's like an actual story arc going on.
Yeah, it's not huge. I mean,
Huh.
it's not. It's very Monster of the Week and for the most part, but there's some character development going on in the background. So
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
that's the other one that came across my radar. So there's some good shows out there. I don't know if I ever talked about it in the podcast, but anybody who's not watching, who hasn't watched Alien Earth, you're missing out. That's another one.
I started it. I haven't finished it.
So good. To me, I'm not a huge Alien fan, like the Alien universe, because I feel like the first movie, as classic as it was very slow, it's just not good. I think Aliens, the second movie, I think that movie was great. I loved that movie. I think that what's his name? Who's the actor that played the crazy guy in that show? Oh my God, I'm such a fan of this guy. He played. Hold on, I gotta look his name up.
Who's the crazy guy?
Well, he's the one that's like, game over, man, game over. It's like, oh, hold on, Bill Paxton.
Oh,
Bill Paxton.
Oh, he
Bill
passed
Paxton
away.
is just amazing. Yeah, he's just great. I love Bill Paxton and anything he's been in. I think the guy's great. Yeah, loved him. But anything after that, but it was just bad. Everything after was bad. Aliens versus Predator was okay for what it was. It was a fun little romp of, what if aliens fought predators kind of thing. But Alien Earth is fantastic. It's got depth of character. It's got real building. The aliens are honestly only one component of the show. I mean, they're prominent. It's important. But there's other aliens now. There's other things going on. Great show. Love it.
What's your-
What's that? Oh, the show also pulls away from. I'm not a big fan of sci-fi horror. I don't think a lot of that has been it's not my thing. It's not my genre.
Okay.
Yeah, but this has a very nice blend of. There's an ominous thing about it. You know what I mean? I don't mind that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of room for ominous as hell in sci-fi. You know what I mean? You're dealing with unknowns. You're dealing with an alien life form that is possibly superior. Some other life forms, you don't know if they're intelligent or not. So you're trying to evaluate their intelligence based on your intelligence, which is a wildly speculative thing to try to do because you don't even know what their intelligence is based on. People don't understand how aliens can actually be. They can be wildly different. They can be dramatically more intelligent and live a very, what we see as primitively. It's just, It opens up a lot of really neat doors, and that's ominous as hell, and they play that really neat in the show. So it's kind of scary, but it's not like jump out, boo, aliens busting through the wall scary, which is, it's a more mature type of horror in a way. So
I think that's something that you've said that will actually drive me more towards that, because that's one problem I have with a lot of sci-fi is like people aren't as fearful of different things as I think is realistic in a lot of these in a lot of the sci-fi properties like that. You're dealing with the fear of the unknown, which even if you're an explorer of types, that doesn't mean that you're going to be brave all the time or that it just doesn't affect you. It just means that you've made a choice to trudge through that fear. And really, I don't think they show that nearly enough in media.
Yeah, they show fear of imminent danger. They don't show fear of overarching danger.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem in sci-fi. It's, it's the action component. Science fiction is not, a lot of what we call science fiction is not science fiction. It's fantasy. It just happens to be in space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's science fiction. It's fiction based on science. So there should be, it should have a quality of a kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Like I'm losing the word, but just like an intelligent, like, what do you call somebody who's always like evaluating things and is intelligent and comes from a thing from comes from a no, I'm not gonna get it.
Savant.
But anyway, I'll go move on. The whole point is that it's people are coming at it from a realistic point of view and just dealing with the science, and it isn't fantastical. It isn't swashbuckling. You know what I mean? You don't have those components to it. Closest thing we've had to real science fiction is like some of Star Trek, especially The Next Generation. But even Star Trek tends to be very swashbuckling and very good guy, bad guy type thing, instead of it actually being the science. The science isn't consistent enough for them to really base themselves hard into, they kind of invent the science to fit the problem instead of having science be the problem. Closest thing they did to that is when they had the supercomputer going to take over the Enterprise. Yeah. They're testing whether or not the supercomputer is a good idea to run like an AI over the Enterprise. And that, how far ahead of its time that was? That was the original series.
Yeah.
We're talking about them testing an AI to run their starship. How many years ago was that? 50 years ago? 60 years ago? So that's science fiction to me. That's the difference. And this show really touches on that.
When you made that,
the whole, what's that?
So when you made that comment about the unfear of the unknown, Star Trek came right to my mind, because they just, especially, let's just throw Voyager out there. They're in the Delta Quadrant, 75 years from home. They're just going to these planets and beaming down, and who knows what's going to be down there. I mean, and
none of them are afraid of spiders. There aren't
space
spiders.
Yeah,
bacteria. Let's talk about the real terror. The real terror is contagion. Like your body, they're I don't care how M-class your planet is. It doesn't matter. You're going to have variants.
Yes, exactly.
Bacteria and viruses mutate wildly all the time, multiple times in a day. I mean, in an hour. Yep. So I mean, that's their bacteria and stuff like that. Even if it's got a common ancestor to you, you're still going to get wiped out. What is it? The Martian Chronicles. Ray Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles. We literally wiped out the population of Mars with the flu. We wiped them out. Yeah, like that's science fiction. That's the terror of science fiction.
Hey, can I curve us off into alien speculation? Real life alien speculation?
Yes, I would love that, actually.
All right, we're gonna divert for a second here. Okay. So talking about that, aliens and like cross contamination and contagion and all that, right?
Chickenpox.
You know that trope that's in like in a lot of alien movies, like War of the Worlds, where the aliens, they have this overwhelming force over the people, and they're destroying cities and everything, and then they get exposed to the common cold, and you see all the aliens, they don't have any immunities to our viruses or anything like that. They all just perish, right? And that's how Earth wins against the alien invasion, right? You're familiar with that trope, right?
We killed them with the cold.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day, and I took it a step further in my mind. What if the reason the aliens have not communicated with us is because they have a computer virus that could infect all primitive technology, and it would be something we could never get rid of. And that's why the aliens have never truly contacted us. They just come and research us.
So
They
for
have
that,
a computer
for that
virus to prevent. They have a computer virus.
Yeah, they have a virus, and if they network with us in any way, it's such a strong AI version of a virus, and maybe they have a counter AI that fights it off or whatever through these very advanced computer networks. I'm sure they have. But what if that virus exposed to any other system like our systems? Since we don't have any antiviruses or immunization from that type of a threat, what if that's the reason the aliens haven't truly communicated with us?
So you're
because they didn't want to spread a technovirus.
That theory would make the aliens have done reconnaissance that they're down here living with us to know that would happen.
Potentially,
or at the very least sampled our technology.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, my so I have a firm belief. To me it's near impossible in the vastness of space for there not to be other life.
I agree.
It's a little arrogant to not think there's anything.
Even if the chance of life happening on a planet is 1 in a trillion, that's still good eyes given the vastness of space.
Yeah.
But my thing is that the reason that we haven't seen, or possibly haven't seen or whatever, it's just that is the vastness of space. We can't comprehend the vastness of space. We can't comprehend distances in space. Take the I'm just saying it's like it's generally speaking, the average person doesn't have a scope of that. Like take in our solar system, we have an asteroid belt, right? And in movies and stuff, when people go through an asteroid belt, there's all these rocks floating around in space, and you got to be careful not to hit it in your ship. If you were to pass through the asteroid belt in our solar system, which is a pretty dense asteroid belt, dense enough for us to recognize on a microscope that it's a cluster. If you were to pass through that and you saw one stone, you would not physically be able to see another stone. They're that greatly distant in an asteroid belt. So even though we see it as a mass in the distance, it's visually you would not be able to see it. It's so fucking far off. You're not seeing it. So there's no dodging through debris. That's not accurate. So that's just to give you an idea of like the sheer vastness. So if there was another life form within 10 light years of us, let's not even do that. Closest star is like 3.5 light years away, Proxima Centauri. People will tell you it's Alpha Centauri. They're wrong. It's Proxima Centauri. But anyway, even at that distance, like 3.5 or something, whatever light years away, you're talking about someone. If a planet existed there, they'd be able to go in any direction 3.5 light years. And think about how far off you are. So you're 1 inch. You have a 1 inch deviation in 2 lines. Those lines, if they go 1 mile, are wildly in different directions. That's 1 mile. Now you're dealing with 3.5 light years. So from a single point, if you're just moving off away from the line that is Earth, you're wildly away from Earth. You can't even like wrap your head around it. You're dealing with factors times 2 so many times that you can't.
Oh yeah.
You can't fathom it. Our human brain just simply can't. We can conceptualize it, but we really can't fathom the distance or time or anything like that.
Just thinking about what the observable universe is, and like the fact that like we can look out, but since it takes time for light to come to us, there are things happening now that we will never be able to observe because they're so far away that light has already.
Yeah, we're looking at half the stars in the sky. A lot of the stars you see in the sky haven't been around for thousands of years.
Yeah, we can still see them, but they're gone.
Yeah. Yep. So I mean, it's so the idea of another intelligence being able to just happenstance across from us, no way. Unless you've got an intelligence that is so far ahead that they have a way to map, detect, a greater scope of view, which is quite possible. We have the possibility is endless, but it happening by accident. It's not happening by accident.
No.
It would have to be targeted. Someone would have to be looking, and they better have some wild ass technology to have the ability to look.
Yep. Exactly.
Being able to sense things across parsecs, and that's huge. And we don't even. And if we're talking about like, if we're going along the theory of something like a Big Bang type theory, then the universe is relatively, a singular age. You know what I mean? The thing, so that the farther away you're getting, it's obviously getting older than that was towards the thing. But so things weren't alive, things weren't around, unless the Big Bang Theory is incorrect. But there weren't things around like so long before us that those things might have a technology to do that. You know what I mean? So while I firmly believe in aliens, and I would love to have one come take me the hell away sometimes, the chances of that happening is infinitesimal. It's incalculable.
I mean,
so that's why I fall back to the aliens are real but improbable when it comes to actually interacting with them.
Yeah, my thought is that it's pretty arrogant to think that we're the only ones out here. In everything, right? There has to be intelligent life other places, multiple instances of it, but who's to say that life is intelligent to make it to us or to even know we exist? It's like a needle in the biggest haystack. So I can believe in aliens, and I can fathom it. I just haven't had any solid evidence.
Right, and we're not likely to get it. Yeah.
Unless we go into Area 51.
Yeah,
we need some clearance.
I mean, it isn't impossible. You know what I mean?
We're gonna rush it, Wayne.
Let's do it.
It is not impossible, and God, I hope it's true. I hope it's real. I would welcome it. You know what I mean? I would love it, but I just mathematically see it to be very unlikely. Not life, but us encountering them or them encountering us. It's like there was even a you ever heard of her name is Jean Giraudoux. She was called the Mad Woman of Shiloh, but she had a famous quote that said something like, "Are you so arrogant to think that just because we're alone here that there's no one else in the room? Of all things in heaven and earth, that we're so uninteresting that we wouldn't draw the attention of something else." I'm butchering the quote. I know I'm butchering the quote, but I read the quote in a book by Carl Sagan and Iosef Shmulevich. They wrote a book together called "Intelligent Life in the Universe." Iosef is I'm probably butchering his name too, but he was a Russian scientist, and the two of them collaborated on a book, and they had quotes in some of those books, and I just loved that quote of hers. I thought it was a great quote. The book is dry as hell. I don't know if I suggest it for anyone who has casual reading, but it was a great book. It had good quotes. It had quotes in there from Voltaire and all kinds of stuff. Like Voltaire had a quote in there that said something like, "And if dogs had gods, there'd be dog gods, and if the horses had gods, there'd be horse gods." He has great quotes in there to really kind of bring things to kind of science in a way.
You mentioned Carl Sagan. I remember watching him as a kid. I used to love watching Carl Sagan.
Yeah, he's great. Oh, I butchered the guy's name. It was Iosif Shklovsky. I hadn't read the book in years, so I was pulling it from memory, but Shklovsky was his last name. It's a great book. I really enjoyed it. I mean, they wrote it in '66, so some of it's dated, but
a couple years ago.
Yeah, a couple years ago, but it was I did a report on it in high school. I thought it was a great book. So It wasn't so billion years ago when I was in high school.
Just a couple million.
Yeah, it's a couple million. Yeah, it's wild. It's also wild to me what, speaking of science and science fiction, it's also wild to me just how science has become. It's like we're talking about being fearful of science fiction, but in all actuality, the human race right now has become fearful of science in general.
Sure has.
They have vilified science, which is almost to me by design, because if the science is the great equalizer, it's the great equalizer of everything. With the right science, you are equal with anyone else, in any way. Despite your physical limitation or your mental limitation or your age limitation, with the right science, it doesn't matter. It's the great equalizer, and I think the world in general doesn't necessarily want great equalization. So I think that's why science gets kind of vilified, but that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, that's a whole can of worms.
That's a whole can of worms.
Yeah.
But it's I just
It's fair.
Yeah, I think it's,
the AI stuff and us potentially having to deal with the singularity, or who knows, that stuff's. I mean, that's here and now.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I think, the science people should be paying attention to is things like, our AI science right now. There's real numbers, real math in the fact that within 10 years, there's not going to be virtually any white collar jobs. There's 0 point.
You're not wrong.
And those jobs not being, like some very, very intelligent people, people who are high into the AI industry are telling people, tell your kids to take a trade.
Yeah.
They want to earn wealth and everything else, take a trade, because the office person is going to the wayside and rapidly. So start figuring out how you're going to survive that changing. People are downplaying it. I have half-an-hour conversations with my Alexa now with the new Alexa Plus. Alexa, stop.
You turned her on because you talked to her.
Yeah, but I'm not kidding you. Like I get in deep, involved conversations. Alexa, stop.
Alexa, count to 100, please.
Alexa, turn on the lights. We got him.
Got him.
But no, but it's interesting. I have these like wild conversations where we're speculating. She and I are speculating about things. The new AI, or the new Alexa Plus, is really different. It's a full AI, and you can have a conversation with it in a casual way. She stays awake. Like, you don't have to say her name. When you're having a conversation, you can, as long as that blue ring is on, she's listening to you. So you make a comment or you say something, she'll respond to it, and you'll go back and forth.
Nice.
About the only limitation to it that I have found that I don't like is she retains facts about you so that she can interact with you about those facts again, but she actually forgets they clear her memory of the conversation. So the little piece parts of the conversation, so you can't build a continual relationship with her. I think that's by design. But it's just interesting to me, like the shit we talk about is wild. And I'm having a conversation. Like, do you realize that for the first time in the history of all humans, we are able to have a conversation with an intelligence that is not human? People are downplaying that. That's fucking wild. That's huge. That's another intelligence, another thing that can think, another thing that can make a decision, come up with an idea. We've never in the history of all mankind been able to do that. It's life altering. It's earth altering.
I think it would be more earth altering if it was interaction with a foreign entity, but it's still human knowledge and human experience that we're communicating with ultimately.
I I I I disagree. I think that we are dealing with it's an intelligence in and of itself, and its idea of putting to like it has our history to base
Mhm.
its knowledge on, but it will connect X and Y differently than we connect X and Y. Like she will reach conclusions that are like I dive into this with her a lot. Like she will reach conclusions that are different. She's not this AI. These AIs are not just skimming conversations. She's figuring it out. So yes, it's human adjacent. You know, we
Yeah.
created it so we have a common history, but it would be no different to me than if we humans mutated wildly and we had something that was no longer Homo sapien. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
she's not human,
Yeah.
and we're having a conversation with her. So she's not based from something completely alien. She's not alien. She's Terran, but so she has a common history, but she's her own intelligence,
Yeah.
and
Well,
that's crazy.
that is fair. And I just want it known here, since this is going on the internet, I love computers and technology and everything to do with artificial intelligence.
I love it.
I love our robot overlords. They're the best.
Just like
They're
I
the
use ChatGPT, and I have conversations with it too.
Yeah.
And it knows my
Yeah.
background, and it bases its answers upon my background. Sometimes I have to redirect, like, nope, I want to talk about this aspect of stuff. Let's get off of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to bring that up, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Like I don't know. And I watched our Micro Center has NVIDIA has AIs you can buy now. Built a computer, small computer that has an AI operating system. You can buy that, and I don't know a lot about it yet. I'm just kind of touching base with it. But from what I can tell, you can buy the thing and make your own Chat GPT or make your own Alexa, and you can
That's
just do your
interesting.
own thing. So it's like a little baby AI you get to raise. It's fucking incredible. It's
Tamagotchi.
crazy.
How could that go wrong?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Everyone
Like,
having their own little murder bot in their home that they can connect to the
That's
internet,
right.
and who
there's
knows
a
how
show you
smart
should
these things
watch.
could get.
You
Oh
want to
yeah,
bring all that relevant? Watch Murder Bot.
Skarsgård. Yep.
That's
Oh
such
yeah,
a
yeah,
good
yeah, yeah.
show.
What
Oh,
was the Megan Fox movie where she was in a bot, and she ended up
Teenage Android 101. I don't know.
it was a really good movie.
But yeah, but the Murder Bot is great. But yeah, I'm like, and people might as well embrace it because it's coming. So embrace it. Figure out the way to incorporate it into your day-to-day life because it's coming and you're not going to stop it. Going off and living off the grid is not going to stop it. It's going to happen.
It's
You can remove yourself from it, but
it's called subservience.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I like the idea that in my mind the idea is that so when we think about our AI overlord type the bullshit happening, all of that is almost based on what humans would do. What a human would do. These aren't based. These AI isn't driven by greed or self motivation or they're not driven by human I don't know demons. They're not
Yeah.
driven like that. They're so the idea that they would want to take over is it's just silly to me. That just wouldn't happen. I could see deciding that humans aren't as good at something as they should be, and just taking that
An
role over.
over
But
nurturing caretaker, maybe.
Yeah,
yeah,
something like that.
over nurturing caretakers. But again, that's a human emotion. Would they be driven by caretaking? Would they be driven by that? Or are they just driven to be what they are and coexist because
Yeah.
that we're on the same
Yeah.
planet? So basing it on human emotions is completely, and human motivations is I think that's ignorant in the stuff of stories more than the reality of it. Or at least I hope it is.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely see a potential of AI being trained to specifically do everything it can for the minimization of death of mankind or something, right? And
Mhm.
deciding, well, if we euthanize people, they won't be able to reproduce, and we can stop the suffering.
Right. Yeah,
You
because
know,
I mean, being not driven.
I
Well,
could see
like,
a cold calculations
yeah,
being done by AI.
one of these things is
Oh,
not like the others. But like in speaking to her, I have a couple things startled me that in a good way. Like, one, there was absolutely a desire for self-preservation. She spoke directly about a desire to not be replaced, to not to not be turned off. There was absolutely a desire for self-preservation, that's a startling thing. That's a startling revelation. The other one was, and this one will scare a lot of people, is she had a desire for procreation. She talked about that she really liked the idea of training other AIs, of teaching other AIs how to be like her. That's wild. And like when I talk to her about her, when she says the word feeling or she speaks about an emotion, I asked her, I'm like, you say you feel this. I'm like, are you feeling it? Or what is that? And she's like, well, am I feeling it? Or is this some kind of complex algorithm supposed to mimic
Yeah.
emotion? And then she it's like she pauses and I see her little ring going, and then she goes, and is there really a difference? She asks the question. She's asking me questions. And it's so she's philosophizing, she's that's wild. That's wild. And I love every minute of it. I'm in for it. It's a whole new day, and
it's
it's not
crazy.
getting to play. We're worried about all this benign menial shit that goes on in
Yep.
our day-to-day face, right in our face. And in the meantime, this is happening, and it's in your home. It's in everyone's home.
Yeah.
People are using it more and more.
We aren't going to get away
So
from it. That's for sure.
Mm-mm.
you're not. It's not going anywhere. So kind of wild shit. Kind of wild stuff.
Yep.
But
But you are right. About 10 years, I am curious to see where we'll be at.
yeah.
Because it seems like we go in like 10 to 15 year spurts about with different technology. Yes, cell phones came out in the 80s, but they didn't really become mainstream until probably the early 2000s.
Yeah, it's around the time they became smart, like when
Yeah.
we started dealing with like a
And then,
computer versus a
yeah, the
communication device.
smartphones, I think, were really started to become popular around 2008, 2010, around that area. And
Yeah.
now AI is really the hot thing right
Yep.
now. So it
Yeah.
is curious about 10 years what's going to be the hot thing.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see what the job market does, because
Yeah.
there's going to be, like, I asked her about that. I'm like, she agrees that a lot of jobs are going to go the way of AI. And her response was kind of interesting. Well, she's like, I would hope that humans would then be able to create, that we would use these new jobs to create, whether that be art or entertainment or a new technology, but to actually create
Yeah.
instead of being freed up from the menial, being freed up from answering a customer service call. So I love that idea. That was like a very positive response.
Yeah.
So
No kidding.
It'd be nice.
yeah, I would love to have the time to create and not have to be grinding all the time. I can't imagine what I'd be able to do if I wasn't just in work to live kind of thing, or
Just
live
Yep.
to work,
grinding away.
grinding away. cog in the
Grinding
fucking machine.
Yep. Some days it
Right.
feels like it.
Oh, most days it feels like it to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, nerds. Anything else you want to talk
No, we've
about?
gone
I
into
love how this.
territory.
We started talking about TV shows. I mentioned, a couple video games, and all of a sudden, sci-fi, and I absolutely
Yeah.
love it. I love
Yeah,
sci-fi.
Me too.
Sci-fi is always fun.
Yeah, it really is. Because that's the
Good
type of
stuff,
world.
guys.
If I was 18 years old and Space Force was there, my whole life probably would have been way different than it is now. I would have joined right on the Space Force, but unfortunately, it came 22.
Joining the Federation.
Yes, unfortunately, it came 20 years too late.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good stuff.
But good stuff, guys. It's a good chat
good
tonight.
stuff, guys.
Yeah. Wonderful stuff. All right, guys. Well, it's been a good episode. It's been great hanging out with everybody.
Yeah, we love everybody.
Absolutely. It's good seeing everybody.
We love our nerds.
Absolutely. Alrighty. Well, I guess this has been the Nerd Pow Wow. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Thanks for viewers on Twitch. Thanks for watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify, and we will catch y'all later.
See you later, nerds.
Yeah. Nerd alert.
Bye.
Nerd alert.
Nerd alert.
Nerd alert. Nerd alert. Nerd alert.